the whole of the day. Only this last hour we've had no rain here in Bali. So I drove to my favourite location in Ubud, having another, this is my second baby coconut. So I'm doing a coconut detox today. Beautiful. Ever tried it? It's amazing. Cleansing and clearing the whole of your stomach, and just cleansing everything, all the parts down below, cleaning away. Coconuts are an amazing healing. I mean, you're just drinking real medication right there. I mean, that is medication for your body. They talk about electrolytes, but you know what? You call it what you want. Science can call it what it wants. That's a miracle. That's a miracle in there. And Mother Nature gives it to us. Everything. It just proves, it just shows you, doesn't it? I mean, there's so much talk now about food. There's so much talk about food, it's unreal. You can literally go on the internet, and doesn't matter what fruit, doesn't matter what vegetable, doesn't matter what herb, you will find somebody telling you it's dangerous, or it shouldn't, or we shouldn't eat it. That's the bottom line now. Humanity, kids, I don't even think have a chance, because there's so much information out there. I've been eating fruit and vegetables for, I'm 57 now, and I'm still here. You know, if fruit and vegetables weren't meant for us to eat, and we were just meant to eat meat, is that it? We're just meant to eat meat? We shouldn't eat eggs. I ate a lot. What I noticed was, in my understanding as a healer, is that too much of anything isn't good for you, right? Too much of anything ain't good for you. You know, your favourite fruit, too much of anything isn't good for you. It's all about balance. I don't care what you eat, as long as it's from Mother Nature. That's all I care. If you're going to start eating packets of crisps and drinking Coca-Cola, then I do care. I do care, because you're drinking poison and you're eating poison. But you can now take any subject matter and mock it and rip it apart. This conversation, you can mock this one. Oh, but Mark, what about the weather? All this pollution coming down on Mother Earth. Is anything actually healthy anymore? So you can take any conversation and rip it apart now and mock it and ridicule it. But what else have we got? What else can we do? You know, we do our best. Yeah, we're being riddled with poisons every day. We know this. They're pumping, you know, they've been spraying fruit and vegetables with poisons for decades. Here they do it all the time. Are you going to become that paranoid that you're frightened to eat anything? So you've got to have the balance of everything. Yeah, I'm very aware of things, but you know, I don't go borderline obsessive, you know, and whatever I eat, whatever I put in my mouth, I give thanks for. So if there is anything negative in there, I'm hopefully reducing that and you know, not holding on to the guilt like a lot of people do when they eat a piece of chocolate, you know, a chocolate cake. They're eating it and they're feeling guilty. I've seen it here loads of times. I've seen loads of women eating plates on their own of chocolate cake, and I can see them hurrying to eat it, embarrassed almost that they're eating it, and upset. There's no joy. And that to me certainly sounds like a fix. That sounds like, hey, that isn't pleasure, that's an addiction. So for me, if I eat some chocolate, I eat it with joy. And I know that, oh, there's sugar in here and this ain't good. And I know it's gonna not be good for my body. But at the same time, I'm like, my body's strong, it's powerful, it heals, it cleanses every day. And the amount of poison I put in my body is, to most other 99% of the world, is a fraction a fraction in a week to what they eat in a day. Like most people in Starbucks, you know, do you realize how many cups of sugar goes into one of those cold lattes or whatever? You know, that fix is what would probably be 3 months of my intake of sugar. So it's not like I just say, oh no to everything. I'm just trying to balance my life and make sure that more healing goes into my body than more poison. So the more healing you put into your body, the less poison you put in. And that makes sense. So I'm eating healthy. I try and eat fruits as often as I can, dates and things like that. But I'm not eating it because of a sugar fix. And if I'm like, why am I craving sugar? I know instantly why I'm craving sugar, because then parasites inside my stomach or inside my brain are actually telling or forcing me to get sugar. That's what they do. That's why we crave sugar. It's not exactly I don't think it's exactly what people think. I don't think that sugar is like an addiction. I think it's an addiction for what's inside our bodies, which we're the host of these symbiotic parasites. There's thousands of them, millions of them, gazillions of them, and some of them live in our body. Because, like I said, every conversation I have with you, there's somebody going to snap back and get angry and say you're full of shit, you don't know what you're talking about, Mark. You know, parasites are good in the body because they clear a lot of stuff out of the body. Yes, I know all of these things. But when a parasite comes out of your body and it's 5 meters long, you know there's something wrong, or I'm just exaggerating, but that shouldn't be in there, and it shouldn't be that size, and it can take over, and it can make you sick, it can make you suicidal, it can make you very ill. So balance is everything. So what do? Since I've been here, I've been digesting fresh papaya seeds with honey. I bought a jar of honey, raw honey. Not honey that they show you in these fancy tins and say, oh, this is honey, and you know it's not honey. It's just, it's been heated, it's been processed. I'm talking about raw honey. So you take your raw honey, you take your seeds and you mix them together and you eat that, and you'll see what comes out of your body. And every day I have a treatment that I use, which is a mixture of natural digestible oils which come from Mother Nature. One is called wormwood, so it's drops basically. It's wormwood, and there's another couple of things in there as well, black walnut, and it's a certain mixture of a doctor who turned a natural doctor, and I think I can't remember her name, Dr. Brian something. She comes from, I can't remember exactly where. Anyway, it was her mixture, and she swore by it. Now, I drink all sorts of teas to cleanse my body. I've taken mimosa. We have 3 mimosa trees in our garden, in our farm. I take that. I also take so many different other forms of clearing parasite from the body. There's so many natural forms of clearing them away. So eating healthy is vital. And I mean, I'm munching away here when I'm eating a meal. I ask for extra seeds. Certain seeds are fantastic for clearing parasites from the body. So try pumpkin seeds, and you know, you can look into it, and you can argue the fact that we do need some parasites in our body, but you know, there's so many reasons why we should be looking at cleansing the parasites from our body. I believe right now that the frequency and energy in this planet is feeding parasites, and I think more and more people are getting parasites, and there's certain, you know, trademarks to parasites on the human body that show itself in so many ways. It can be on the skin. If you've got loads of little spots here, loads of spots, little tiny dimples, loads of them, especially if it's your children, you know that your children are full of parasites. But if you can see people when they're full of parasites in their mind, and that is that there's certain things that they do and certain behaviors that they've got, and we've always believed that, oh, this person's a bit weird because they're just a bit weird, but it's because of what we eat, and after what we eat we produce certain parasites, and they can end up like the best one is the crazy little old lady with the cats. So they found out a long time ago that cats urinate, and on a side note, if you've got pets, you've definitely got parasites in your body. So try not to let your pets lick your face, because the microbiotic parasites, and then they grow and then they head to certain places in the body. But one of them is the analogy of the crazy old lady with the cats. There's a reason why the crazy old lady with the cats is because cat pee has like gazillion parasites inside it, and if you just walk on the pee, if you touch the cat and the cat pee anywhere, then what happens is that parasite is a specific parasite that goes straight directly into the brain and then causes a disconnect. It severely disconnects some of the I don't exactly know, I'm not 100% sure about how it all works, but apparently when they've opened up people's brains, they've found that there's been a disconnect, and parasites have deliberately cut a certain part of the brain and caused a lot of issues. So it's neurological as well, and parasites know exactly what they're doing. They're super intelligent, and they know what they want. The other thing is with kids as well, young kids growing up on motorbikes or doing crazy things. If kids do crazy things, if they're not frightened of anything, and they drive fast, they ride fast on a push bike, or they ride fast on a motorbike, they found that when they opened up young lads who had been on a motorbike, who were riding at 150, 200 mile an hour on a motorbike, they found out that part of the brain where your some kind of electro, I don't know how it all works, but this part of fear that we have because we're frightened of maybe falling off a cliff or frightened of going too fast, that's been severely cut. So they deliberately cut that. Why? I don't know. I'm sure science will tell you that. But it just shows you that parasites, they know where they're going, they know what they're doing, and there's so many books out there. I read a chapter once of this guy who said that the parasites, once you attack one parasite, all the parasites know in your body, because there is is it a symbiotic? It's a relationship. It's almost like psychic intuition. They know, and they tell each other straight away, we've got a problem. So one of the things that I looked for and I couldn't get, we looked for months for it, and it's called the false yellow head flower. And apparently that is the most potent natural herb flower to parasites. And apparently if you can get it, and if you can drink it or digest it, I don't know how, but apparently this is what it does to the parasites. The parasites suicide themselves before they actually they kill themselves. That fascinated me when I heard that. What, a parasite will kill itself if you digest this? Apparently so. Interesting, eh? But yeah, I was never able to get it. I asked my staff to look for it, try and find it. Where is it in the world? It's not easy to get. Anyway, but like I said, just keep up to your cleansing, your detoxing, and cleansing your stomach. The stomach is so delicate and so beautiful and so needing of cleansing, because most humans, when they die, they have so much built up shit inside their stomach, it's unreal. So much bad stuff that's built up there. We need to clean that out. And of course, you all know that cleansing your body with a water fast or a juice fast, just fasting and then doing a colon cleanse is a super thing to do. But most people just want it fixed in 30 seconds, so they'll go to a health place and say, give me something that fixes me straight away, or goes to the doctor and asks for some tablets. And that's not how healing works. That's just a band-aid, and that doesn't help. It doesn't heal anything. It just, you need to figure out what the reason is why you are feeling the way you are, why you've got no joy anymore, why you have bad habits. And you look for root cause, and that's where healers come in. And I think healers are pretty good at finding root causes. Psychics too. Honestly, a good psychic will point something out and you'll go, shit, I never thought about that. And then it changes lives. And I remember reading from many people, and just out of nowhere something comes out of my mouth, and for somebody sat next to me, giving them a spiritual reading and saying something that just totally blew them away, in the sense that they never thought about it. They never even... I'll give you an example, but this isn't an example. It was something that like fascinated me. So a lady came for a healing session, but she also came for a reading. Her son wasn't well at all, and they didn't know why. Neither did the doctors. And she was saying she'd like to bring him in for a healing session. And as I close my eyes, I'm like, he's not well at all, and I can see he's not well, and his stomach's not well, and I can see in his stomach, and I just remember seeing a hot water bottle. I'm like, why am I seeing a freaking hot water bottle? And then when I'd finished, I said to the lady, this is going to sound strange, but there's something about a hot water bottle and your son, and the only thing I can think is, did he pour out some water and put it into the kettle, and then drunk from the kettle, from the hot water bottle, or something like that? Anyway, she was in shock. She went home and she said that's exactly what happened. He'd been poisoned by a hot water bottle. So can you imagine? He was only young, and so it was plastic poisoning, and it was from a water bottle. So sometimes you read for people, and you'll just say something, and you won't have a clue what it means, but that can be a life-changing moment for people. And that's spiritually. It's not just about health, it's about spiritually speaking. You can be depressed from the age of 5 years old, and I can meet you, or I met some women at the age of 55, 60, and I gave a healing session, and that person would get up and say, I never felt like this. I can't remember feeling like this. Not even, and then when they might say, I remember as a child feeling like this. And we always think to ourselves that it's life. I say, even today I've said it, it's probably because I'm getting older, but that's just an excuse. Age has got nothing to do with how you feel. Energy is everything, and to clear negative energy, whether it's in the mind because of parasites, because of what we eat and what we don't eat, that's something that we never think about. Sometimes we need to eat certain medicines that heal a certain part of the body, that then align, balances both mind, body and spirit. It all works together. And I was sat down thinking the other day, I can understand why the Buddha went and sat down under a tree for 18 years. I think when you get older you realise why he did that. When you're younger you think, why would you sit by a tree for 20 years? Why would you do that? And the older you get, the more you realise, I understand why he sat by a tree. when you see what's happening around this world and how people behave and how this world is turning and where it's going, what solitude have we got? What moment of experience in who we are, why we're here? When do we ever feel that or ever even connect to that? So the more I think about the Buddha, what a smart, wise move. You know, F off everybody. I'm going to sit under a tree and live my life in the moment and experience that what I came to. I mean, 99% in this world think that they're in this world experiencing it, and they're not. They're just walking, running, scattering around, doing something which is meaningless to feed the system. That's the bottom line. There's only 1%, I think, and probably less than that, who are actually living their earthly purpose, and I don't think I am. I think we're so severely disconnected now, and I think all by design, that none of us really know what the friggin' hell we are or why we're here and what we're doing. And, you know, we've used this analogy by books and, you know, mentors and healers. You know, where you are right now is where you're meant to be, and where you're going is where you're being taken to. But that doesn't work. That's not working with people. They're not even getting that. I mean, you have to sit down and think about that for a while. Not, okay, where I am is where I'm meant to be, I'm all right then. No, that's not what I meant. Where you are is being in the present and looking and experiencing and trying to understand and connect to nature and Mother Earth, and connect to the frequency and energy that is connected to your body, your spacesuit, and the consciousness that you are. And you can only do it in that moment. So where you are right now is where you're meant to be. Oh, right then, so I can do what I want then. No, that's not what it means. And where you're taken to is exactly where you're going. Oh, so I can do anything that I want then, and it's all going to be fine. No, that's not what it means. Oh, God. Literally, it's so hard for people to understand and get anything these days. And I'm the same. I hold my hand up. I don't get it all the time. I sometimes briefly get it, and then I lose it again because I'm back in the energy of AI technology. I'm back in the energy of worry and fear and what now, and why am I not connecting, and what crystal should I use? It's not easy living on this planet that we should not be living on this planet doing. We are living on this planet doing things that we should not be doing. This is not why we came here. I guarantee you all, guys, that you didn't come for this reason. That's why most of us are pissed off. That's why most of us are getting more upset and anxious, more stressed, more worried, more what the friggin' hell is this all about? It's because your consciousness said this is not the reality you came here for. It's been hijacked, and by evil, by monsters, by those in control, those that want to stop you from really understanding why you're here. And what little you do to make a difference in this world is the best we can do, because we're hijacked, literally hijacked. We are basically humans that have to pay, we have to work to be on this planet. What kind of fuckery is that? For somebody to tell me that I have to work or else I can't eat. And you can see why people get upset. People are angry inside. They don't realize that. They don't think like I've just thought, but it's true. We're the only creatures on this planet that have to do that. Every other creature lives off the land and eats freely, and all right, now you're going to take the piss and say, oh Mark, don't be stupid, you've got a dog and you've enslaved your dog. No, you don't understand what I mean. I'm not talking literally, I'm talking spiritually. Yeah, well, this is as good as we've got. All right, well, there you go then. It's as good as we've got then. So if that's the way we see it, then that's the way it will be. So this is where we are. We do our best. We try our best. We work hard to try and make the world the place that we thought we were coming to. I thought I was coming to a place of love and healing, but actually, from the first moment I walked into my first school and got smashed over the head with a hammer by another child who just wanted to freaking hurt me, I realized that this isn't the world that I thought I was coming to. It's been hijacked. And that is not the same person as me. That person is a little evil shit. That whatever's inside that body, that consciousness is not like mine. That is not from the same place as where I come from. And it's a hard lesson. It really is. But there you go. That's life. And I can understand why people just turn away from the system and just go into solitude, or go and find a mountain, or go somewhere where nobody is. I understand that. It makes perfect sense. The system, of course, makes it out as if they're crazy and says there's something wrong with them, because the system doesn't want people to do that. The system wants to get you all into a little smart city so that they can make you sick every day, so that you can feed the pharmaceuticals, that then the pharmaceuticals pay the very beasts that create all of this, so that they can just sail around the world in their 1,000-foot yacht onto their islands, and to control this world and enjoy the best foods and eat and do and cause the most pain and smile at the same time, because that's what they're here for. That's the reason why they're here. And I think the monsters are really starting to realize now that this world is definitely their world, that they are definitely, oh, but we've got Trump. Oh no, oh, we've got Musk now, we're all good. Yeah. Give them bread and crumbs and let them believe. Soon as the energy of the world, soon as people start to wake up, they always give you a hero. It's how it always works. So that we never become the hero. So that we never stand up and say this is bullshit. We just leave it to somebody else because we feel weak, because we're being told we're nothing, we're being told we're nobody, we're being told we're just little old me. Who are you? What can you do? That's all by design. That's all by design. But if I told you that you are everything, that you are powerful, and that you are here for a reason to change this world into the world that we came here, and that yes, there are dark forces, and yes, we are here to counter that and to make the change in this world and to be the light in this world, I don't know. Who knows anymore? But I understand why people just walk away from all of this, walk away from corporations, walk away from their jobs, walk away from everything, and just try and live a more peaceful, a more less system life, get out of the evil system, and try and live in simplicity. I mean, good luck if you're going to go off the grid, because they're going to still try and get you, but at least people are trying and making what they can. But even on Bali and in the islands, when I speak to people, they say something's not right, something isn't right, and it's like, well, it should be right, we're in a beautiful place, why isn't it right? Because they're messing with frequency. This DARPA, HARP, CERN, military industrial complex, they are messing with this frequency. That's why so many people now are absolutely lethargic. They're sick, they feel unwell, they feel mentally, physically drained constantly. And sometimes when that frequency isn't turned up and the spraying has stopped, sometimes you feel back to your normal self. The body is great, but that should be an indication to everybody that something's not right. You're still eating the same as you did last week and the week before and the week before. Nothing's changed. The only thing that's changed is what's happening around you, the frequency and energy around us. And we need to be aware of that. And there's not much we can do about it, because the monsters are in control. So we can use our copper, we can use our Jungite, we can use crystals, we can try and do things to ground and clear and heal ourselves, which is what I promote daily. But we still have to be aware that we are under attack by monsters that are trying to change this world into a low dense frequency, which then is an absolute joy for entity attachments, for demonic energies. That's why they open portals. I call them portholes, That's why they're changing the frequency in the air. They're making it dense and heavy, So you feel sick, but they feel alive. They feel joy. It's a different energy where they come from, and they're creating that very energy here. So they're trying to make this place sick, and they use it under a disguise as saying that we're trying to save the earth. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to block out the sun. Everything that they say they're doing on behalf of humanity and saving the earth is exactly the very opposite of what they're trying to do. They're trying to change this world so it becomes a sick, toxic soup that feeds entity and monsters that they can come into this world and breathe and feel the energy and heal and get stronger. When this earth is filled with love and it's filled with no chemicals poured down to us, no chemicals in the sky, barium, aluminium, all that shite that they're saying that they're trying to block out the sun, or they're trying to figure out what's going on up in the atmosphere. This is all a lie. It's always been a lie. Everything that the system does is trying to cull humans or make them sick so that they vibrate at a frequency that they feed from. So we become life batteries to the monsters that are around us all the time. And it's all connected to AI, and it's definitely connected to extraterrestrial energy. That's why all of this stuff is super advanced, and it's all way above our heads. But spiritually speaking, we can feel it. We know something's wrong. We don't know the answers. We don't know what's going on, but we know something's wrong. This world has changed. From 1977, when I remember, when I was a kid playing on my bike, to now, the world has changed. We are not free anymore. We are not able to jump on our bikes and cycle for 2 or 3 hours and come back again on a night and be free. Things have changed. If you do that now, you end up in prison for being a bad parent. Things have changed, and they've done it subtly. They've done it subtly. And that's the same with the energy. It's the same with everything that's happened. It's another slow kill. It's another way to tighten the noose around our neck so we become enslaved. And this is all about enslaved world. They're trying to enslave the good souls. That's why they're making it harder for you to be seen, to make a difference, to share wonderful joy, to be a healer, to be a book writer. And all the monsters are growing stronger. All the monsters are becoming more famous and more popular. Why? Because they're always leading people to politics. Anybody who talks about politics, they are being put on a pedestal. And it doesn't matter what side of politics. It doesn't matter if you're a Trump, if you're a Gabby Tulsi, or if you're it doesn't matter. All of them are being fed carefully so that you're pulled back into the very nature of the system beast. The system is that what is controlling this whole world, and it's not in just one part of the world. It's controlling all the world. The system is a global entity. And I wish you a lovely day. That's my chat today. It's a beautiful time to be alive, even though I've said all that I've said, because you are the answer to this problem. So become the answer. Don't be the slave. Don't bow down to Musk or Trump or any of your leaders. Be the answer and make the change. That's the only way this world will ever become the place that we thought we were coming to. Have a great day. Take care, everybody. Love you all. You're amazing. Don't forget that. And you can conquer anything and any illness. Take care. Bye for now.